Hello, Ms. Ellington, class. My name is Tiana. The topic that I chose to research is Southwest Airlines, and I really wanted to focus on the marketing and the advertisement of Southwest Airlines. So we'll go ahead and get started. A little bit of the history of Southwest Airlines. They began in 1971, and when they started, they only started in 3 cities. Those cities were Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio, Texas. Now that's the southwest region of the country that we live in, hence the name Southwest Airlines, okay? When they made 35 years, this was just one of the advertising pieces that they came up with, representing their 35 years. One of the things that they did, though, is when they carried their millionth customer, this resulted in more flights on them. So now they were able to operate out of 31 states and out of 61 airports. This also led to them being able to do more flight-to-flight or point-to-point stops. So the layovers kind of slowed down. They were able to offer more final destinations. So where you leave from, you'll be on your flight, you'll get on to your final destination in one flight. Okay? This also led to their average flight time to be now 1.7 hours. Okay, so that was reduced. And the leader, they ended up becoming the leader of the U.S. flights because of that. Some of the perks, I don't know about you, but I like getting a deal, okay? Some of the perks that they ended up having for people like you and I are the no-ticket flying. They now have an automated ticketing machine, okay? They've been doing that since 1995. They also came up with purchasing your tickets online. Now, I do a lot of things online. I pay my bills online. Buy clothes online, so it makes sense for me if I want to fly to purchase my ticket online. It makes it more convenient for the customer, okay, so that draws customers to them because it's easier for us. They've been doing that since 1999. Another thing they have, when you get to the airport, usually there's long lines, so what they have set up is kiosks. In these kiosks, you come in, you put in your flight number and your name and all of that information for your flight, and then you weigh your own bags. You sit your bags on the scale, check them in just like they would if you were standing in line and had an associate check you in. It's actually kind of reducing your time, and it's really kind of fun to do when you check your own self in. Another thing they have is Southwest is really known for having low prices, so it makes it easily affordable for us, okay? So with the recession going on, that's something that people look towards, saving money, okay? They have no fees for bags. You already have to buy your tickets, so it's easier to save money. It's nicer to save money if you don't have to pay for your bags as well, okay? And what Southwest does is allows you to take up to 2 bags without weight requirements or anything like that on the plane with no fees, okay? Southwest, they don't have assigned seating, okay? But what they do have is called early check-in for priority seating. And what this means is the earlier you check in, you kind of get on that first-come, first-served basis. So if you have a particular spot on the plane that you like to sit, whether that be in the aisle, on the window, front or the back of the plane, you get first choice of that seat along with your compartment, your overhead compartment. Some people like sitting in certain spots, some people like only sharing with certain types of people, I don't know, but it makes it, you get the choice, and everybody likes having choices. Now what they also have is a target market. Every business out there has a target market, and what Southwest aims towards, or their target market is geared towards, is the working class. People like you and I who work, and what they do is they have sales. And for the most part, on average, their flights average starting at $59. Okay, this makes it great for any circumstance, whether that be business travel, that be personal travel, for your family, you're traveling with your kids. That's a reasonable price for you, your family, to travel without kind of breaking the bank, so to speak. Another thing they have, they pride themselves on is their customer service championship. Okay, they focus on the top down. Okay, it's called good customer service, starting with the boss. So the boss kind of sets the example so for the employees. What they also do, or what they're famous for, is their business by putting customers first. I don't know about you, but I like being put first. When I'm going to spend my money, I want to make sure that I'm treated well, okay? And this also draws customers to them. And what these champions do, they're starting and they're delivering this outstanding service. These come from the CEOs of the company. Now, I don't know about you, but most CEOs are kind of depicted as sitting behind a desk, delegating what they want, how they want it done, not really kind of touching or getting involved or in the field, so to speak. But what these CEOs are doing, they're actually setting the tone for how they want the customer service ran with their company, okay? And they do this by also rewarding their employees, okay? They recognize them, they reward them for catering to the customer, so to speak. And one quick little story about that is how I was catered to when I went to Southwest Airlines. I was traveling with my son, and I didn't know. It was the first time I had a car seat. The lady checked us in, didn't bag up his car seat. Long story short, I got to the other airport, my final destination, and I had half a car seat. The cushions and everything were missing off my son's car seat. What Southwest did to cater towards me is ended up giving me one of their car seats, and they ended up writing me a check for $75 so that I can get whatever kind of car seat I pretty much wanted. And I thought that was really nice. That's the type of customer service that they implement that makes customers want to come back. Okay, and that brings us to our next point here, talking about keeping loyal customers with their great customer service. That's part of their mission, Southwest Airlines, their dedication to the highest quality of customer service. And how they accomplish this is with the acronym POS, and that stands for Positively Outrageous Service. Okay, and that's that point that makes customers want to keep coming back to their company. Okay, they also deliver service with a sense of warmth, okay, friendship. They have individual pride and company spirit. Those are good qualities to have, because if you're prideful about your company, you want people to talk about your company. You want people to spread the good news or the good word, so that not only will they return, but they'll bring other people with them. Okay? And part of the advertising, what I really liked about this is true. Southwest kind of has the lowest prices out there. Okay? They will have to raise their prices in some cases in order for them to kind of look like the other their competition out there. Okay, and what I've done is I did a price comparison. I took 3 different airlines, Southwest being one of them, United Airlines and Delta, and I put in the same destinations from point to point from Chicago to New York. And I kind of put it as leaving on the same dates for each one of these airlines, and these are the prices that I came up with. Southwest being $150 round trip, okay. United Airlines ended up being $200 round trip. But then you have to remember that with United Airlines, it's $200 round trip, but then you also have to pay for your bags, okay. And then same thing with Delta Airlines. That ended up being $235 round trip. And then again, you have to pay for your bag. So Southwest really is at the top, or the leaders of price competition, where they provide the lowest prices out there for flying. Okay, so I actually enjoy doing the research on this. I actually enjoy flying with Southwest Airlines. So I don't know if this information might move you to want to fly, but this was my research, and this was what I came up with, the advertisement and marketing of Southwest Airlines.